When Naughty Dog released the first Crash Bandicoot game, it became an instant classic. But there was room for improvement. Oh, wait a second. I already said this before in my first video. Let me see if I can fix the script up. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, that should do it. Nostalgia is a fascinating topic to discuss. It comes in many shapes or forms, and it varies from one person to another. And to me, when I think about nostalgia and the video gaming genre, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back will always come to my mind. I always replay this game at least once a year because I have a loving relationship with Cortex Strikes Back. Not an actual relationship though. Without it, I may have never had a massive passion to experience some fantastic video games I've gone to try out, from Fallout New Vegas, Persona 5, and Ghost of Tsushima. Now this video is a milestone video for me personally because this video marks my 100th review on this channel. Yep, I've officially made it to 100 without any build up leading to this event whatsoever. I don't usually take YouTube seriously, as I just like to make videos for fun, but it is cool to look back and realize how far I've come over the years, for better or worse. So I just wanted to take this time to say thank you for allowing me to share my journey, and I hope to continue doing so. To celebrate this milestone, I figured it was time to make a relook video on the first review I created, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. Has my opinion changed or remained the same? Let's tackle this game and find out. The story opens up immediately after the events of Crash Bandicoot 1. Cortex gets defeated as he falls down below. Apparently he survives the massive fall, but regardless, he finds a power crystal and plots his new plan. 1 year goes by, and Cortex and his new henchman, Engine, look around for the other power crystals. Still, without any allies to turn to for assistance, Cortex comes up with a brilliant plan to manipulate Crash Bandicoot to get the crystals for Cortex.
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we need to find an enemy.
Meanwhile, Coco, Crash's sister, asks Crash to retrieve some batteries for Coco's laptop. Finding batteries in the middle of the jungle. Yeah, good luck with that. Crash ends up getting teleported to a warp room, and so this is where the game begins. Crash goes out to many locations, finding some power crystals, all while Coco tries to hack into the warp room to try and explain the truth to Crash. The story is fine overall. Storytelling wasn't all that important back in the day compared to now, where story is an absolute must in a video game, but here, I don't mind the plot in Cortex Strikes Back. It's a good way to continue the rivalry of Crash and Cortex and see how the story will unfold here. The one question I did have to ask myself is, what happened to Torna? In Crash 1, she was an important character in the story, but now, in Crash 2, she's nowhere to be seen. The main reason is that the first game received major success from the younger audience, and Naughty Dog didn't want any bad publicity. And with melons like those, I can see why. The graphics do look better compared to the first game. It looks more cleaner and smoother, and the characters look a lot nicer as well. Especially with Crash Bandicoot's model, even though he still has that upside down Dorito look. And while you get to see past returning characters like Cortex, Embryo, and Ripperoo, you also get to see new characters like Coco and Engine as mentioned earlier, the Komodo brothers, sword-wielding Komodo dragons, and Tiny Tiger, a massive tiger with a temper. He's also one of the most loyal minions to Dr. Cortex. The gameplay, while similar to the first game, is that you go through a number of enemies, collect Wumpa fruits, and make your way to the end. There are technical improvements to the gameplay to make it feel updated. For starters, what I first noticed is the control handling. Not only is it more responsive in Cortex Strikes Back, but it feels tighter too. In Crash 1, I felt it had that slippery feel to it, as in I believe I didn't have full control of Crash himself, or itself, I don't know. But in Crash Bandicoot 2, I fully have control of Crash's movement. Having tight controls in a Crash Bandicoot game would later be an important feature in Crash 3 and in Crash Team Racing, so this I like to think was the beginning of something cool. Crash also has new moves to perform. Crash can slide and crouch jump, which takes the gameplay formula to another level. Naughty Dog introduces a new box type called the Nitro Crate, which explodes as soon as it receives physical contact. You can see that new ideas were being placed here, which works well in my opinion. The level designs are really nice too. Not only do you get to check out the jungle themed as before, but there's also new places to check out. From the snow, sewers, ruins, and a futuristic area as well. Most of the levels will involve you platforming your way to the end, but some other levels feature some vehicles to try out. You have a jet ski, riding a polar bear. Also, I'm very sorry for the sins I'm committing, please forgive me. And a jetpack you can hover around in. Apart from the polar bear, the controls for the jet ski and the jetpack are not as good as I remembered. It can be tricky to control them initially with their speed and momentum. It's not terrible by any means, but it does feel a bit slippery when trying to rush through it. Crash Bandicoot ends up in a warp room, and in each warp room there are 5 levels. If you want to go up to the next warp room, you have to go to each level and make it to the end with a power crystal. You'll need at least 5 power crystals in order to do so. The great thing about Cortex Strikes Back is that you can save the game whenever you want to, compared to the first game which you had to save the game via a bonus area. In Crash 2, you can save the game as many times as you like, and it's really convenient. Automatically, this feature alone makes this game better than Crash 1. The OST is really great overall, and there are just so many great tracks to listen to. I won't bore you with playing a few songs like I did before, but give it a listen and see what you think. Other than power crystals, you can also collect gems. How do you get them? By breaking the boxes in a single level, of course. You have your standard gems, but there are also colored gems too. Collecting them will involve some outside the box thinking, funny puns lol. Once you have collected a colored gem, you can traverse to a different section of the level, but even harder to get through. Another area you can travel to is the death route. The only way for it to be available is to find the skull platform without losing a life. And if you do lose a life, then the platform will have an outline so you won't be able to jump on it. And yeah, the death routes test your timing and skill levels, so best of luck. The boss fights are not the best I've witnessed in a Crash Bandicoot game. Don't get me wrong, Engine provides a good challenge, but other than that, Ripperoo, Komodo Brothers, and Tiny Tiger are pretty simple and lackluster to me. They fall under the same category of doing the same method 3 times, and that's all folks. And plus, you already know how I feel about Cortex's boss battle, don't get me started on that. I discussed it before under my top 5 disappointing final bosses, which you can check out here. Did the link pop up? Ah, there it is. Thanks, future me. I honestly don't care how many times I've replayed this game. At the end of the day, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back still holds up. Yeah, it does look outdated for a PlayStation 1 video game in the year 2023, which is why I recommend trying out the Insane Trilogy for modern gamers. All 3 original Crash games from the PlayStation 1 era, remade from the ground up for modern day standards. And the only difference is, the remake version has relics to partake in. But that doesn't mean you should sleep on the original version. It's still fun to try out, from the tight controls, nice level designs, and amazing soundtrack to listen to. Sure, the boss fights could have been handled better, and I'm not a fan of the control handling for a couple of the vehicle stages, but overall, this is a great video game that really sets the bar high for future 3D platform games out there. If you haven't tried this version yet, you are missing out, my friend. Because sometimes in life, in order to appreciate the future, we have to give thanks to the past. But anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. I thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And as always, my name is Justin Hurst, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.